creeper.
All right, just had a little bite to eat back at the Chinook Winds Hotel. And as you can see behind me here, the casino. Back in August of 2003, none other than Robbie Knievel, that's right, the son of the late great Evel Knievel, jumped 15 semi-trucks right here at Chinook Winds. We're gonna go match up some shots. I'm gonna tell you more about that day and his connection to the Simpsons. You're not gonna wanna miss this one. Stay tuned. So yeah, Chinook Winds, looking nicer than ever. And I remember when this was actually just a little tent in the parking lot. But back in 2003, none other than Robbie Knievel, right here in the parking lot, right about here, jumped 15 semi-trucks all parked in a row, coming down this ramp here, this little berm here with the set of steps, coming all the way down that and wheeling it down and literally jumping over those trucks, landing roughly right around here. And I found some of the video and old pictures of that day, and also the really cool connection between Robbie Knievel, his dad Evel Knievel, the Simpsons, and the classic Bart the Daredevil episode where Bart jumps the Springfield Gorge on his skateboard, kind of mimicking Evel Knievel's epic jump over the Grand Canyon. And that all took place right here at Chinook Winds, 2003, August 23rd. Today being the 28th, just a few days shy of that day, or after that day. And that all took place right here in the parking lot. Like I said, we're going to go over here next. I'm going to show you where those were lined up and what he did that day to really get the world record jump. So when the Simpsons did their classic Bart jump Springfield Gorge on his skateboard, Homer ultimately doing it, yeah, it was loosely based on Evel Knievel. If you guys don't know who Evel Knievel is, you must be living under a rock, but he was a famous stuntman performing all kinds of death-defying world records, jumping trains and trucks, cars. And his son Robbie went on to kind of try and fulfill his legacy by doing the same thing. And that hot day in August, as you can see the parking lot here, and that kind of berm hill here with the set of steps, his bike would have came right down here and literally came through here, jumped over, the little ramp that they had set up, and literally flew over 15 semi trucks, the Pepsi trucks. Some of the pictures that I found. We're gonna see if we can loosely match up those kind of rough pictures. I also found the video of that day, and we're gonna have to step back just a little bit farther so we can get the actual angle of that death-defying stunt. It was pretty impressive if you ask me. Ultimately 230 feet was the record, and he kind of nailed it. I mean, he didn't land it completely, I think, how he wanted, as you can see in the video, but to be able to jump over all of those 15 of them in a row like that was pretty crazy. And that all happened roughly right about here. Climb up the top of this little hill here so we can get a better shot. But yeah, you would have seen all of this behind him, vaguely right about here, roughly right in the middle where this little section is for the door entrances to the actual casino itself. And this little area over here that kind of angles down just like this little hill that we're standing on now, roughly in the parking lot. And Robbie basically came out on his bike, did a couple spins around here in the parking lot, and was thanking all of his fans and friends for showing up that day. And then he basically comes back over here, comes down, makes an entire loop around the parking lot, takes his bike all the way around here, goes back up into this lot here, this little section, and then he literally rides his bike down this little hill right here, all through here, and the very beginning of the ramp, which was about well, it said the death-defying trick was about 230 feet that he was trying to accomplish. But the beginning of the ramp would have been right about where that red truck sits right here. And then you would have seen him basically just fly pretty dang high all the way down and almost ending at the base of the ending of the casino. That all took place right here, 2003, August 23rd. Robbie Knievel. And if you guys remember that episode, Bart jumping Springfield Gorge, Bart the Daredevil, such a classic Simpsons episode. Captain Lance Murdoch. If you look at some of his outfits too, they were really identical to what Robbie and his dad both wore, doing all their tricks. But yeah, it was pretty cool to see his bike kind of, you know, flying down this hill. He talked about he had done stunts in the past, and this one's a little trickier, he said, because he's having to maneuver over curbs and parking lots and such, because what he meant is he had to basically get his momentum. You know, there probably wasn't enough room for the whole thing, so he started literally on top of this little hill right here on this set of steps over off to the side and came down and flew over it. Basically, you know, made it over all the semi. So yeah, I mean, if you think about it, each one of these parking spots is about as wide as a semi truck. So, you know, here's 1, 2, 3, so 15 of those all the way down. Pretty impressive, man. That's a long jump. Not to mention, that wasn't it. He went on to, you know, just keep getting more and more crazy when he wanted to jump the Grand Canyon. That was incredible. That was probably like, you know, one of the most death-defying jumps a stuntman could ever do. So those guys were brave, man. I have to give it to them for always continuing to kind of push the envelope as to, you know, what they could do. It took place right here. Pretty dang cool. Not to mention the casino looking so nice right now too. But yeah, rest in peace to both Robbie Knievel and his dad Evil. Pretty dang cool that all took place right here. Chinook wins.
That's going to do it for today. If you guys are new here, make sure you hit that red subscribe button. That'll ring you into being a creeper today. You can also ring that bell. That way when I creep, you guys will be the first to creep. And if you did enjoy this, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Till next time, creeper out for now. Peace.